testing. And hello, everyone. Welcome to the 2023 SEEC playoffs. This is the semifinal round. Tri-Cities Christian Academy and the Freedom Cowboys' first ever matchup between the two. James Shannon along with the head coach of Riverside Christian Academy, Adam Chalmers, joining me on the broadcast. And Coach, both these teams have had phenomenal seasons so far. And to meet in a playoff game first time ever, there's a lot of excitement around that.
Yeah, certainly. I know being from Huntsville, obviously us having school right up the road here and me being a Huntsville native, have a lot of connections with Freedom, not so much with Tri-Cities. Been doing some research on them the last couple of days. Both of these programs, of course, Freedom's been a juggernaut for years. Tri-Cities only been in school for, 3 or 4 years? So this is a big chance for them.
Deep pass on the right-hand side. It's complete. Pass is complete.
What a way to start.
No, it's intercepted. Correction. Yep, called that wrong.
Well, a lot of times, especially in a playoff game like this, like we said, Tri-Cities first, really trying to, can't speak. It's been a while since I've done this. Tri-Cities only been here for about 3 or 4 years. Obviously, Freedom's been dominating the A-man scene, especially here in the North Alabama, Tennessee region. You're going to want to try to hit those deep shots. And I would imagine, being a play caller myself, wanting to go deep on that first place, trying to get momentum, being on the road, especially with as far away as Tri-Cities is, trying to get up early, and it just doesn't work out.
Oh, what a great hit there by the Tri-Cities defense. That interception by number 14, Aiden Berlin, one of the seniors here on the team. Well, it was almost like a long punt, Coach. You know, just punt the ball down the field. Let's just, on the first play, let's completely throw everything off that, we understand about football.
Well, now it's time, really to see these sudden changes in the game. Obviously, Freedom, best case scenario for them. Obviously, worst case for Tri-Cities, but
even though a lot of these guys are going to be playing both ways, offense not expected to start right now, defense not expected to start right now. Who can see a great run there? Who can grasp the momentum of the sudden change?
About 15 yards, first down Cowboys.
That you folks were not able to see the interception, and we'll get the replay working here in a minute. A little bit of a work in progress, but Aiden Maryland with the interception there for Freedom, rather.
Yep, and I think it's interesting what Coach Collins is coming out with. Obviously, haven't watched a ton of Freedom football. I have a pretty good relationship with their AD, so I've been able to see some of their games on film with teams that we've had mutual opponents with. But obviously, Freedom known for running the ball, as there's a run there off the right side, and that's going to be. You can see they're really AD. So I've been able to see some of their games on film with teams that we've had mutual opponents with. But obviously, Freedom known for running the ball.
With the vacancies left by guys like Oliver Johnson, Tristan Martone, there was a lot of leadership that Freedom Cowboys needed, and there's been young men to step up all over the place.
Yeah, and of course, Freedom's been so good for so many years. A lot of our guys at Riverside, we didn't have our team for a couple years, went over there. So we have some connections, Riverside and Freedom. We scrimmaged with them this year. That's a really good play by Tri-Cities.
There's Briars again trying the left-hand side, nothing doing.
Yeah, we got a chance before the season, Riverside, to scrimmage them over at their practice facility at the Rock, and I gotten to know Coach Collins pretty well. Really great program here, but again, really young guys. I think they only returned 3 or 4 starters from last year.
Yeah, a lot of senior leadership last year that they did lose.
But these are the moments when you step up. I mean, those guys who were senior leaders started off as freshmen, started off as first-time starters, and so you're going to start to see these guys develop and mature right before your eyes, which they've been doing a pretty good job with this year.
Exactly. Venter takes the snap, fires right, in and out of the hands of the intended man on the screen. And that'll bring up a Freedom third down, and that's going to be huge for Tri-Cities tonight. Just getting Freedom off the field, getting that offense off the field. Obviously, defense is showing that they're here to play. But if that offense can get them, if they can get them off the field, that's going to be huge for them tonight.
Yeah, especially. And, it goes without saying, but when you have a game where, these are high school kids. These are guys who are 15, 16, 17. This isn't the NFL. They're not professionals. So many factors can influence a game. especially with Tri-Cities coming all the way from Johnson City. Getting that early momentum, which I think we saw them try to do with that deep ball in the first play of the game, is going to be crucial here. So it looks like it's going to be offensive pass interference, so they're going to back them up even more. But there's so many factors that can go into a young man who's 15, 16 years old playing this game, and in a big-time playoff game, getting that early momentum is going to be so crucial. Even if Tri-Cities can make him fight for it here, but especially if they can get a stop, that would be great for them early on, especially after the sudden change and the quick turnover.
And we'll try to keep up with the time and everything tonight. Well, we got your video. We got your video, and we'll give you a score. Something the NFHS network cannot do.
Yeah, so it's
third and about 13 here. Man in motion to the right-hand side. Venter takes the snap. He's going to keep it on the right-hand side.
Oh.
Tries to go airborne. And a great job by number 23, Brady Boskin, to stop him there. And that defense bringing up a fourth down is huge. I mean, for them to have that momentum lost on the first play of the game, and for them to be able to force a fourth down here, 4th and 13. I mean, he only got back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
I believe it's 4th. It might be 3rd. Trying to read across the field. Those
let's see, I can't see it, but it looks like there's going to be another flag here.
And they're marking Freedom back.
Yeah, flag on the Freedom sideline, or thrown by the ref on the Freedom sideline, not on the Freedom sideline. And so this is going to put them, I want to say if my math's right, 2nd and 30, 2nd a mile. So still second down.
Second and about quarter of the field.
Yeah, so still second and a lot after those 2 penalties.
Shotgun formation. Venter by himself. Now man comes in motion. Venter, play fake. Keeper on the right, looking. Fires right. Man's wide open. That's going to be number 31 down the right sideline, and he's in. Touchdown, Freedom Cowboys. That's number 31, Noah Wright, the junior. And we will be dealing with that poll all night long, but
yeah.
Freedom Cowboys.
Got to work my Zoom button right now.
There you go. Freedom Cowboys answering the adversity early on. And they put 8 up on the board, or 6 up on the board now. Let's see if they can get to 8.
Yeah, and again, just a great job. Talking about, especially with these younger guys not panicking. 2nd and 30 seems like a long play, but especially in high school football, if you can just get that one chunk play, and especially, of course, an 8-man with all the man coverage that is being played, basically solely man coverage. If you can get your guy to beat their guy, or in what it looked like in that case, a coverage miscommunication from Tri-Cities, there's going to be a lot of open space to work with.
And another flag, and you saw it, Coach, on that play, and you'll be able to appreciate it a little bit as a coach. You saw them bring the man in motion. We'll slide this down just a little bit. You saw them bring the man in motion, bring the defensive player across the middle, and then when you ran the drag route back to the right, It opened that up a little bit. Great play calling there by Coach Collins.
Yeah, for sure. And they're really trying to spread it out. They got the left hash where the ball is, and it's great call by Coach Collins. Working that left hash, knowing that they're going to be in the left hash, so what are we going to do? We're going to put receivers out to the right. We're going to bunch them all the ways they're doing on this 2-point play. We've seen this formation or the trips from them a lot. They're going to bunch them all the way out to the right, create a lot of space.
Venter still looking, going to try to do it himself. Puts his shoulder down, and he's in.
Got it.
2-point conversion attempt is good. Didn't mean to cut you off there,
No,
but
you're fine.
Venter just puts the shoulder down.
The point I was making, just let those athletes go to work.
I mean, that was Lamar Jackson style. Put the shoulder down and just hit the man. No fear from the quarterback. 8:40 to go here in the first quarter. Your score, Freedom Cowboys 8, Tri-Cities Christian nothing. This is the 2023 SEEC playoffs. Welcome back to the 2023 SEEC playoffs right here on 8-Man Extreme, only on 8-Man Extreme. Freedom Cowboys lead the Tri-Cities Christian Academy Eagles 8-0. Opening drive touchdown for the Cowboys. Thank you for joining us. And the kick is away by Barrelin, who had the interception on the first drive of Tri-Cities. And they'll try it again. Return here on the left-hand side. That's going to be number 10, Josiah Dixon. And he's going to be brought down at the 30. So it'll be 1st and 10 for Tri-Cities Christian.
And I don't want to be too dramatic or say this too early, but I think this is going to be the key to the game right here. How can Tri-Cities respond? You got a team that's, young as a school facing a team that's been really good the last few years. Obviously, this year Tri-Cities been really good in their own right. And
they've played for the last 2 national championships.
Yeah, and
there's a lot of history there.
And Tri-Cities coming from, again, so far away, which these guys are used to, obviously with a lot of the 8-man teams being in Nashville.
Well, and they also traveled to South Carolina some for games this year too. Here's the give up the middle, and he's gone right through the line of scrimmage, and there he goes. That's going to be number 33. Philip Birchfield, the senior, he's in. Touchdown, Tri-Cities.
And what a response.
And we have a flag on the end of the play.
So it's going to be an unsportsmanlike penalty. We don't know.
But what a job. And that Tri-Cities line, too.
Yeah.
I could have gotten through that hole.
Yeah, and just execution.
Coach, we both might have been able to get through that hole.
Yeah, execution. It's all it takes. High school football is an execution league. What can you do to out-execute that guy? It doesn't, a lot of good schemes, a lot of good plays. We're talking about it with play calling Coach Collins earlier, but if you can just put a hat on that guy, as we said when Freedom had the ball, if you can out-athlete somebody in 8-man football, you're going to have a good time.
And we will get a unsportsmanlike call here at the end of the touchdown. So the touchdown will stand, and they'll enforce it on the kickoff. Right now, though, they're going to try for the extra point. This is Josiah Dixon. Snap, set, kick is blocked. Not much of a chance there for Dixon. Extra point is no good, but Tri-Cities. Coach, we have 2 offensive plays from them, and we have an interception and a touchdown. Tonight's going to be fun.
Yeah. And, it's going to be a really interesting time to see, again, this whole response thing. These games are long, and they can be long, especially with 8-man with 12-minute quarters. There's going to be a lot of time for both teams to respond, but what I'm interested in seeing is how can Tri-Cities respond on defense to what Freedom was doing on offense with spreading that field. Said it earlier a second ago that offensive drive was going to be huge for them to keep them in the game, to not have a 3-and-out, not punt, not go down 2 scores early. Now I'm interested to see, can they keep that momentum on defense, show that they can stop, because we know that Freedom's going to have a great offense if they're going to score the ball. And we're gonna assume that they're going to be able to make some stops on Tri-City based on their history. What can Tri-City do to the Cowboys offense here? And if they can get a stop here, not even a 3-and-out, but just preventing a touchdown, that's going to be huge for them.
Well, and you love it for Tri-Cities too. Last year, first year back in 8-man, they used to be 8-man, took some time off football, came back with Coach Jeremy Boskin, bringing the program back, building it back up. They had 1 senior last year. This year, let's see if I can count it right. Well, I'll have to recount it. But here's the kick. It's going to be a low bouncer fielded around the 40-yard line. Briers on the right-hand side looking for the edge. He has it down the sideline. 1 man to beat, and he will beat him.
Wow.
Almost tripped up there at the end, but he's able to get in. That's Logan Briers, the senior. Great job there.
And I'm mad at myself because I should have, as the coach, I should have said, you got to stop them on special teams first. We can see a lot of returns here. My bad on the replay. I'll about wreck your camera down on this table.
You're good.
Trying to avoid the pole. But, yeah, especially, again, I don't want to harp on it, but 8-man football, so much more space. And so when you have 7 guys.
And especially on a full size,
Yeah.
100 by 53 field like this.
Normally, these fields are either going to be 100 by 40, which is what ours is, 100 yards long, 40 yards wide, or 80 by 40, 80 yards long, 40 yards wide. This is a full 11-man, 100-yard by 53 and a third yard field. And you have 3 less guys defending the same amount of grass.
Tri-City successful on their first extra point attempt.
And again, they're going to go back to this left hash, wide doubles look. So you're going to have 2 receivers, which we can't really see from the pole, but you're going to have 2 receivers right here where this pole would be. Way on the left, they're going to motion a guy out and trips, and a flag is going to be thrown, it looks like.
Ball start on the Cowboys.
So penalty called on the Cowboys. It will move them back. But the point I was making earlier with Tri-Cities, 2 seniors on the roster this year. That's going to be Josh White, their tight end, and Philip Birchfield, who scored the touchdown. But they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 juniors on this team.
And one thing that I think is going to be interesting for the Cowboys here is they've had, I think we're up to penalty number 4 on them right now. I believe they got a sideline warning as well. And now a delay of game, so that's number 5.
Pre-snap penalties.
And that's going to be something, again, with Coach Collins, who's a veteran coach. This Cowboys team, who we talked about, is young but has the program history there. It's a little bit surprising.
For the Cowboys, we tried the 2-point conversion from the 20.
But the point I was making earlier, they're loving this formation right here. You can see it on your screen now. 2 way to the far side of the field. You're going to have the ball centered on this left hash. And they're going to work some misdirection off of that.
That's going to be on the left-hand side.
Yeah,
Nothing doing. Great job by that.
End around there that doesn't work out.
Great job by that Tri-Cities defense. 2-point conversion attempt is no good, and that's a huge momentum builder for them.
Yeah, because it's a 1-score game.
Exactly.
And that's the thing is, if you're watching this game and you're just used to watching Saturday or Sunday football, you add them up by 7s. A lot of teams either don't kick at all and just do 2-point conversions, or the kicking can be a little bit wonky sometimes. Have a block, as we saw the first time.
When you've got to have such a great line too to be able to,
especially in 8-man. That's one thing we learned this year.
Because it's 6 on 8 now. Those numbers are a little. It's a little bit tougher with that as opposed to a 9 on 11.
That's what I learned this year, being really the first year coaching full out 8-man, not being kind of thrown in the fire, or at least with varsity coaching for the first year. And we have a guy on our team. He can kick field goals. He makes them in practice. We cannot set up the blocking to make it in a game.
Yeah.
And it's just, again, the numbers. You got 6 of those guys on 8. You're going to have 2 guys free.
Which you have 2 and 11 man, but the line being wider.
Wider, yeah.
Yeah, so it takes longer to get there.
But so that point being made that Freedom would have gotten that, we think 2 touchdowns for Freedom, 1 touchdown for Tri-Cities. It's a 1-possession game. It would have been 16-6. It would have been 10 points. Now with them not getting it, it's 14-6. So Tri-Cities still just a 1-possession game with a touchdown and a 2-point.
And they've proven they can be explosive. Here's the kick from Berlin. Deep. It's going to be returned again. This is Dixon. A little mishandle around the 5. And he's going to try to return it. He's going to try to find the left side. Makes the first man miss. Second man slows him down enough for Freedom. The rest of the Freedom kick coverage team to get down there. So Tri-Cities with a deep start compared to the second drive. It's very, very similar starting position to the first drive.
Yeah, that's big because they're going to be, looks like inside the 10, right around the 10, which is, not as a play caller, not ideal. Not really expecting that you're going to have to go 90 yards a lot of times here.
Well, I know y'all have missed me, missed everybody over the season. We didn't broadcast games this year, but it's about to ramp up. Of course, you got this game tonight. Tomorrow, 12 noon, we will be in Mount Juliet. It'll be Tennessee Heat hosting Sacred Heart in the other semifinal game of the SEEC playoffs. And I'll keep going after this play here. I formation give. That's going to be Birchfield again, plowing his way up the middle, and a great gain. Just some solid, hard-nosed running by this Tri-City offense.
Yeah, and I think early on in this game we're seeing two different philosophies. You have Coach Collins and Freedom really looking to spread everybody out, get guys in space, and then you have Coach Boskins over here with Tri-Cities. Like you said, they're running the I formation. They're running just one receiver out here wide to your left, or to your right, to our left.
Shotgun formation. Man on the right, ball is given to him, bounces off the first two defenders. Third defender finally brings him down. Looks like it'll be a gain of maybe 2 or 3, and it'll bring up a huge third down here.
Yeah, and so either one of those can work. It's just going to depend on execution. Both of those offenses tried and true. Even in 8-man, one thing I thought coming in from an 11-man background was, how is the eye going to work? Well, we've gotten torched by the eye sometimes. I've seen teams get torched by the eye.
Here they're going with the shotgun formation, a tight shotgun. Snap, rolls right, fires right. Got his man, that's Dixon, just past the sticks. And that'll be a first down for Tri-Cities Christian. Great throw there by number 5, Jordan Reed, the 8th grader.
Yeah, and that's just a really good catch, really good execution. You see, can't quite see the number there, but they're going to have a lead blocker pull, kind of a power look out of a play-action pass and a rollout pass. And really good execution by them, as now they're going to go with a doubles look to the left.
We'll get the clock caught up here momentarily.
Let's see what it's on there.
And an official's timeout.
Okay.
I believe it's a water timeout.
Got somebody.
Nope,
just
it's a
lost
helmet
his lunch.
issue.
No, we got somebody over here to the left that's just lost his dinner over there.
That is Birchfield, who scored the touchdown on the first play. We'll leave the clock running to get down even.
Again,
I was going to say a big first down for Tri-Cities there, build a little momentum. They know they can do the home run plays, but in order to have sustained success, you're going to have to just be able to chunk plays away.
Yeah.
That's how you burn clock, too. Here's the give up the middle, and the pile keeps moving. Matter of fact, they're going to gain maybe a yard or two with first contact coming 2 or 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be second down. Well, they're going to say he picked up 3.
Yeah, they're going to give him forward progress on that one.
Again, first ever meeting between these two. Tri-Cities first time in the playoffs, in the SEEC playoffs. Here's the give and the stop at the line for that Cowboys defense. Cowboys second year in a row, number 1 seed in the SEE South, with wins over Sacred Heart and Zion. So they host the semifinal game. Tri-Cities number 2 seed in the North on the road tonight. Sacred Heart number 2 seed out of the South. They will travel to number 1 seed of the North, Tennessee Heat, tomorrow, 12 noon, right here on 8-Man Extreme. Reed in the shotgun, flanked, give to Birchfield on the right-hand side. Birchfield met, and he did get. Let's see if he got back to the line of scrimmage. They may move him back just a hair. Now coming up on, I know it says 5 minutes, 4.5 minutes game clock. We'll get you caught up. Get this clock caught up. Next stoppage we have.
And they got 4th and 6 right here from about the 33, 34-yard line.
We'll see what Coach Boskins decides to do. If they're going for it or if they punt it. Freedom, 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Looks like we're getting a punt formation.
And Briers is back to return. Dixon will kick this away for the Eagles. Kick up to about the 40-yard line where it'll be filled by Briers. It's on the ground, and Tri-Cities has got it.
Wow.
Mishandled by Briers, and the Eagles right there to recover. A little tussle for the ball on the ground. That's going to be number 7 for Tri-Cities, Noah Koklo. And if I mispronounce his name, I apologize. But Briars with a rare mishandle.
Yeah, and
Let's see if we can get one more replay. There we go. Right there, and Koklo able to grab it.
That's huge. Right place, right time. Again, those little things. Special teams, especially special teams is something that in the college and NFL games seems so routine, so mundane. Can have a huge impact here as they're looking to go deep.
Deep pass to the right-hand side, and incomplete.
Yeah, looking like it was
3-on-3 coverage there.
Yeah, it was intercepted out of bounds. So caught out of bounds by a Freedom player.
So incomplete.
Yes. Yeah.
All good, all good. But that's huge for Tri-Cities. You know, earlier I talked about the first play of the game. A bomb got intercepted, essentially like a punt.
Yep.
This time they punted and recovered the fumble just like a bomb. So
yep.
We're all even right there.
Yep. And one thing I'm interested to see with these guys, which seems to be something that's a little bit harder to do in 8-man, is how to get your intermediate passing game going. That's something we worked on at Riverside all year, trying to develop. I think that's the hardest
Give to
thing.
Birchfield on the right-hand side. Makes the last man able to bring him down, but he made everyone else miss. Birchfield almost busted loose for his second touchdown of the game, and the senior putting the team on his back.
Yeah, and I'll go back to that point later, but talking about Birchfield again, one of these games where you don't know, is this my last game or is this not my last game? And obviously with the victory, they'll go to the SEEC championship.
The handoff, nothing doing there. Birchfield with the carry. Freedom, great job getting in there and making the stop. Bringing up second down. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I was just going to say, obviously when you have teams that are good, that are in the playoffs, all their guys are playing hard. But it's that different level when you're a senior and you don't know, is this my last time I'm putting on a football
This is going to be the
uniform?
last time, other than Gatlinburg, if guys are selected for Gatlinburg.
Yeah.
This is the last time some of these guys will suit up, especially with their teammates.
Yeah.
Give to Birchfield again, stuffed at the line of scrimmage. And Freedom very, very intent.
But the point I was making earlier before that big run was broken off is it seems from teams we played this year, from my experience coaching this year, that intermediate passing game in 8-man is really hard to get definitively. You see a lot of teams that are either running or they're throwing over the top, 50-50 balls.
Ball on the ground, mishandled snap. Reed able to pick it up, pulls it down and dropped behind the line of scrimmage for a sack. Venter will get credit for the sack here.
And so that'll be something that I'll be looking at personally. One, to see maybe if there's some things we can pick up for Riverside next year, but two, because eventually you're going to think if all you're doing is run up the middle and throwing deep shots, or even with Freedom, throwing that sideline, throwing out these swing passes, that they're going to be able to catch on to that. So what counters do you have off of this? What does Coach Boskin have in his playbook that's a counter off of that inside run or a counter off the deep ball? Because especially when you get into a playoff situation, you're not just always going to be able to completely out-talent somebody.
Fourth down and long. Reed fires right. And a little, we got a flag.
Wow.
There's going to be interference right at the first down, just before the first down marker. Initially, it looked like the intended receiver stopped running.
Yeah, I was going to say there was definitely a lot of contact, and we can get the replay of it, but my thing would be, is that a catchable ball?
Let's see if we can get that one more time.
That's the first that's the first thing that went through my head is that a PI based on the contact? I could see
Nope,
it.
just the one.
I can see it being a PI based off of the contact, but
There
was it a catchable ball?
There was contact before the ball was thrown, though. So they could have called illegal contact.
Yeah.
It'll move the ball up 8 yards. Yeah, they'll mark it right at the spot of the foul, so it'll be 4th and 5 here.
Yeah, so that's not going to be a PI. That's going to be illegal contact because it's still 4th down.
Reed in the shotgun, flanked on the right side by Birchfield. Reed maybe trying to draw them offside. Yep, nothing doing. Tri-Cities will take a timeout. and decide what they want to do. We'll take a timeout as well. This is the 2023 SEEC playoffs right here on 8-Man Extreme. Fourth and 5 for Tri-Cities Christian. Decision time for the Eagles. Trying to draw freedom off sides earlier and had to burn the timeout to regroup.
I was interested to see with the timeout if they would maybe try a field goal because they do have a field goal kicker, but we're going to spread them out.
Reed fires right, wants his man White, and incomplete in and out of the hands of their senior tight end. And they tried just the inside route, Coach.
Yeah, and again, just trying, as we said, they're going to have to try to get that intermediate passing game. Both teams are just to have some sort of counters. They go out wide for the first time, kind of a slant bubble concept right there on the right side. And I'm assuming that was a one read all the way. He probably told him throw that slant, but that bubble, they might have had a chance to go on that one if he could have broken a tackle.
About 5 minutes of game clock burned by that drive, starting down at the Tri-Cities 10 and ending at the Freedom 10. Cowboys will have first down. Venter in the shotgun, one man out wide right. Venter takes the snap, give. This is Briers up the middle, nothing doing. He's going to get dropped by that Tri-Cities offense, or defense rather.
And again, that's more kind of classic Freedom that we've seen, especially in years past. I haven't got a chance to watch a ton of their film. Like I said, I do have seen a couple Freedom games this year based off of some mutual opponents we had. But anyway, I've seen some of their film, but they're known for running the ball. That's what they want to do.
Shotgun for Venter. He's going to start left. Keeper around the left-hand side. Look for the edge. Has it down the sideline. Couple men to beat, and he will not. He'll get up to about the 30-yard line where he'll get forced out of bounds.
And that's when it's going to be coming back. You're going to have a hold right here. Looks like it's going to be. Might have been 23 for Freedom.
Possibly. That's a killer. That's a killer for Freedom, though.
And again, nothing too egregious. It looked like. But again, all we ask, especially from a coaching perspective, referees, as long as they call it fairly down the line, if they're a little bit loose with the rules, a little bit tight with the rules. At least from my perspective as a coach, as long as you're consistent, that's what we're looking for.
And not a terrible job officiating tonight so far.
And what I see from here is we have a crew that, they're pretty strict interpretation of the rule book, which is totally fine, especially for a playoff game.
Venter with the keeper on the right-hand side, has a hole, makes the first man miss. Second man miss. Outruns the third, makes the fourth miss. He's at the 50, at the 40. His speed is too much. And to end the first quarter, no flags on the play. It's going to be a Freedom touchdown. Jalen Venter.
Players, not plays. When you're in a hole, when you need a big play, go to your players. Don't go to your plays. And, that wasn't anything special in the playbook. Wasn't any crazy trick reverse pass. It was just execution. And what an execution there by Venter.
Making 4 men miss.
One of the most impressive runs I've seen at any level this year.
And they will give them the 2-point try.
So it looks like Freedom's going to go back to this doubles look. Different quarterback as well.
Keeper fires right. Pass is complete. 2-point conversion attempt is good. Freedom is going to take a 2-touchdown lead.
Score is 22 Cowboys, 6 Eagles.
Yeah, good play there. Obviously, one of those things talking about we're dealing with high school kids. I'm sure Venner is gassed. So put in a new quarterback right there, run the rollout, and just like that, it's a 22-6 game.
And that'll do it for the first quarter. Freedom Cowboys, they lead Tri-Cities Christian 22-6. This is the 2023 SEEC playoffs right here on 8-Man Extreme. Start of the second quarter here at McGuckin Park, Huntsville, Alabama. Freedom Cowboys, Tri-Cities Christian. It's the 2023 SEEC playoffs, the semifinal round. James Shannon and Adam Chalmers on the call. And Freedom in that first quarter, honestly, they got the touchdown last play of the drive, but that first quarter was fairly even.
Yeah, Tri-Cities has impressed me. Like I said, I've known about Freedom. We've scrimmaged Freedom this year. I've seen a couple of their games in film. Not much knowledge about Tri-Cities, but they're an impressive team, and this is really gut check time for them. We see that they have the talent. I think it's going to be really key to see if they have the mentality, which so far it seems like they do. But
kick
this
from
is
Maryland is a rocket, and Dixon will not get the opportunity to return that one. Kick into the end zone for a touchback, and so the ball will be brought out to the 25-yard line.
This is going to be a big time and a big drive for them because they're still in this game. It's a two-possession game. It's the start of the second quarter. When you start stacking it and digging yourself in that big of a hole, especially on the road with a team that, they are the #1 seed, it's when it starts getting hard to try to dig back out.
Well, 3 straight weekends of football right here on 8-Man Extreme. Of course, SEEC playoffs tonight and tomorrow. Next Friday, we'll be in Tuscaloosa at Tuscaloosa Christian. It's a CFA championship game. And we'll see who the teams are in that one. Got a flag here.
I think that's going to be on Freedom. Offsides on one of their D tackles.
So we'll be at the 2023 CFA championship game next Friday night at Tuscaloosa Christian. We'll see who the winners tonight are that are going to be playing in that game. And then the next day, next Saturday, 12 o'clock kickoff, we will have the 2023 SEEC championship game.
Sounds like you're going to be doing a lot of traveling these next couple weeks.
Little bit. Here's the give to Birchfield up the middle. And got a little bit of room. He's still on his feet, up about 3 yards. And a tough 3-yard gain. Bring up a second down. They'll give him, looks like 6 on the carry.
And again, the point, if I can help you understand anything as a coach for those that are listening, is this. These are high school kids, and we know that. But when we see games on Sundays, we see games on Saturdays with very high-level professional athletes, and then we see a broadcast here, we got to remember these are kids. And one of the things that really going to make a big impact for Tri-Cities is if they're seniors and if those 11 juniors you were talking about can help, especially with having an 8th grade quarterback. Can they pick him up here after, some good balls, but also tough start, that interception first play of the game? He's responded well.
Hard count here for Reed, trying to get the offside. Nothing doing, and so they're going to have to regroup. Audible to the second play. Fire across the middle. Great pass and catch. That's to Dixon. B-button move across the 45. And that's going to be a Tri-Cities first down. Great connection there
3 yards. First down.
for the Eagles.
Yeah, and a good play there. Again, trying to work that intermediate passing game, and that's what's going to give you that success, especially as Freedom starts loading up on the run with Birchfield as the senior. Reed, the 8th grader. Again, an 8th grader is going to be 14 years old, may still be 13 years old at this point. Got to have him get in the zone, get some good completions, and I'm impressed by him. He's a really good 8th grader, I can tell you that much.
Oh yeah.
Really,
And I don't you didn't face him, but some of you folks, you might remember another 8th grader that started at varsity for 5 years, Deuce Bragg. Could be a very similar comparison. Here's the carry by Birchfield. Made the first couple men miss behind the line, able to get across the line of scrimmage.
And so, I mean, Reed's really impressing me here. Think about it. You got a kid, again, 13, 14 years old, playing against the 2-time national champion runners-up, the SEEC champions from last year. Sorry, the SEEC.
SEEC,
SEEC,
SEC,
that's
either
fine.
way.
Okay. I heard it when people talk to me about it. I know if we've talked on the phone. I've heard SEEC a lot, so that's what I default
SEEC
to.
is perfect.
I want to make sure that still works. But
Give to Birchfield again, and the workhorse is going to have a Tri-Cities first down.
And obviously, Coach Boskin, he's not asking Reed to carry him. This is Birchfield's team, this run game, old school style here, working in the 3-point stance. Birchfield, really just a fullback, running right up the middle.
And what's the saying? If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, and they're impressive.
1st and 10 for the Eagles. Reed, drop back, right-hand side, tucks it down, and he's going to go down at the 50-yard line. Freedom Cowboys defense able to get there and drop the young quarterback, forcing a 2nd and long. It'll bring up about a 2nd, maybe 17.
Yeah, the thing you got to remember as well, you don't get points for making it to the 30-yard line. And so we've seen Tri-Cities be able to move the ball, but in my mind, the difference so far in this game between Tri-Cities and Freedom is Freedom's been able to take it into the end zone. They've been able to cash it. Both of these teams have moved down the field. Not really been that much of a defensive game. The reason that it's 16 points right here is because Freedom's been able to get in the end zone. Tri-Cities gotten stopped a couple times or with turnovers as well.
But you got to think, I mentioned all the juniors they've got on this team, several sophomores as well, and then the young quarterback who's brought down again behind the 40-yard line. And the blitz there from Freedom, just too much for that Tri-Cities offensive line.
That sack is by Dawson Blackstone.
Yeah, and that's what Freedom's going to do. Like I said, we scrimmaged them this year. We had a joint practice. We scrimmaged them up in FCA for their jamboree. And they're going to blitz you. And they're going to put guys on the line. They're going to try to confuse the pressure.
Only 3 losses for Freedom this year, 2 for Tri-Cities. Freedom had losses to the Lighthouse Warriors, Franklin Christian Academy, and the Tennessee Heat. Tri-Cities Christian, their losses, also one coming to the Heat, and then a loss to the Pack Panthers out of the SIFA in South Carolina. And we'll get another timeout called here by Coach Boskin. So Tri-Cities will burn their 2nd. They'll regroup. They'll get a game plan together. And we'll step aside as well. This is the 2023 SEEC champion semifinal playoff game. Tri-Cities Christian Freedom Cowboys right here on 8-Man Extreme. Welcome back to McGuckin Park. Tri-Cities Christian out of Blountville, Tennessee, on the road at the Freedom Cowboys. It's the 2023 SEEC playoffs, the semifinal round. Tomorrow we will have game 2. Tennessee Heat hosting Sacred Heart of Jesus High School. The Knights on the road. So a full weekend of football right here on 8-Man Extreme. James Shannon, Autumn Chalmers on the call. Reed, fire across the middle to White, rather. White, great gain across the 50-yard line.
That's a great play call there. I was interested to see what they came out with because don't have a lot for 3rd and 35.
At that point, you're just trying to chunk away and get what you can, and if you don't get it, I would assume we're going to see Dixon. Well, let's see.
I'd go for it here personally.
Line of scrimmage.
Looks like, yeah, well, they're going for it. I was going to say, I think that's the right call in my mind. You're trying to win the game.
4th and 11. Reed in the shotgun. Birchfield was on the left. He shifts to the right. 2 receivers out left. Birchfield in motion. Reed takes the snap, fires across the middle. Pass is incomplete. Intended for White. Tri-Cities wanted some pass interference. Nothing called, and it'll be a turnover on downs.
Yeah, and if you look at the replay right here, I think that play is because of what happened 4 plays ago or 3 plays ago with that blitz and sack, because you had a couple guys in freedom, their nose guard and their their D-end shed it. They weren't quite there, but Reed saw that, threw it immediately through that short drag route, way short of the first down marker. Even if he caught it, wasn't going to – the coverage didn't look like he was going to really do anything with it.
7:27 to go, and we'll fix that here. There we go right there. 7:27 to go in the second quarter. Man in motion. Venter, option play, pitch. That's to number 8.
Whoa.
And it'll bring up.
And that's going to be an unsportsmanlike on Tri-Cities.
A little bit on the backside. Number 8, Bram Day, another senior. And a loss of yardage on the play. And then we'll wait to see what happens with the.
We were talking about it with Tri-Cities earlier with obviously their seniors not knowing if it's their last game or not. Same thing with Freedom, but one thing that Freedom and their seniors like Bram Day do know is that this is their last game at McGuckin Park. And so you got to think that's that extra bit. Your home field where you've been playing your whole high school career. You know, even if you win, that's great. You're going to go on Zion, right? Zion Christian Academy.
Yep, Zion hosting, yep.
But they know that win or lose, this is their last game at their home field.
Penalty being called on Tri-Cities.
Yeah, and so that's going to be an unsportsmanlike personal foul. There was a late tackle after the whistle was blown.
That's good for a first down, Cowboys.
And it will be a first down. Ball spotted at the 47-yard line, the plus 47 for Freedom.
Again, that's a huge penalty. You go out after the 4th down, not making it. You get a 3-yard stop if you're Tri-Cities, but it's a 15-yard gain for Freedom off of the unsportsmanlike. Can't have that happen.
Venter in the shotgun. Man in motion is Day. Play fake. Venter. Ball's on the ground, and Tri-Cities got it.
Yeah, busted play. So he's going to – snap was good. He couldn't catch the snap. Looked like it was either going to be a jet or a jet counter from this guy in motion right here. I'd imagine it was supposed to go to Bram Day, number 8 right there.
Maybe a direct snap, yeah.
Because Venner looked lost once he got it.
Second fumble of the day for Freedom. Tri-Cities able to recover and give them credit. When they're getting these opportunities to get the takeaways, they're taking advantage of it. They're making the most of it.
Yeah. And they've been moving the ball well, but like I said, kind of towards the end of their drive, they got to get it in the end zone. They're moving the ball on Freedom. They probably have a lot of total yards right now.
Give to Birchfield about a 4-yard gain.
But again, Freedom with that bend but don't break defense, which is so crucial in high school football, but especially 8-man football. We were talking about field goals earlier. This isn't like college or the NFL where you get it down to the 30-yard line, you can bring out the kicker, get 3 points.
Yeah.
You know, you pretty much got to get it to the end zone or at least close unless you have, just a really good kicker.
2nd and 7 for the Eagles. Reed in the shotgun, flanked on the left by Birchfield. Reed give to Birchfield up the middle, and he's met almost as soon as he got the ball. That's a big stop for Freedom here, coming up on 6 minutes to go in the second quarter. They lead by 16, 22-6. Want to give you a big thank you to everyone, whether you're up in the Tri-Cities area, whether you are maybe here locally wanting to watch your kid, maybe you're a distant relative, or just another football person wanting to watch a good game. Maybe you're a coach or a player. Thank you so much for tuning in. James Shannon, Adam Chalmers on the call. It's the 2023 SEEC playoffs, and we'll get a timeout called here.
It's going to be for Freedom by Coach Collins.
Called by Freedom, yep. So they will burn their first timeout. They'll burn their first timeout of the half, and we'll step aside. This is the 2023 SEEC playoffs right here on 8-Man Extreme. Welcome back to the 2023 SEEC playoffs. 3rd and 9. Reed firing to the right, looking for his man. He's got him. That's number 7, Noah Koklo. And again, I apologize if I'm mispronouncing his name, but what a connection for Reed to number 7.
And he throws a good deep ball. The number one thing that you have to do, especially in high school football, is just give him a chance.
Yeah. Well, and especially with the DB with his back turned, he put it where only that receiver could get the ball.
Yeah. And so Koklo does a really good job there.
So first and 10 for Tri-Cities. Apologize for the post. Reed takes the snap, fires left, and he's got it. Touchdown, Tri-Cities. That's number 17, Josh. Nope. Let's get that number.
It's like 19 maybe. Looking for the monitor, but anyway, what a great play. And again, Reed, you just got to give him a chance.
Might have been number 3, Jonas Kendall, with the catch. Let's see if we can get the replay. Number 10, Josiah Dixon. I apologize. Josiah Dixon with the touchdown catch, and we got the celebration there and didn't get the touchdown. But Tri-Cities answering with a huge drive here in the second half.
And this is a huge play here because you're going to be down by 10. They convert this, it's a one-possession game.
Here's the give on the right-hand side.
Yeah, and so that was –
and no good.
No good, and that was a –
Number 8, Preston Holmes.
Yeah, this is going to be Preston Holmes, so a different quarterback there just running direct snap.
Little wildcat there.
Yeah.
2-point conversion attempt is no good, so we still have a 2-score game here in the 2023 SEEC playoffs. Well, I mentioned tomorrow it's game 2 of the semifinals. Next Friday night we'll be in Tuscaloosa at Tuscaloosa Christian for the CFA championship game. We'll try to get you some score updates there at halftime if we're able to have them. Also have some ACSC playoff games happening tonight. And, of course, one of those broadcast over on the Evangel Sports Network on their YouTube channel. Go catch it. So next Friday we'll be at CFA. Next Saturday it's the SEEC championship game, 12 noon. And right here on 8-Man Extreme. And then the next weekend, it's time. It's time for nationals. We go to Panama City Beach, Florida for the NHSA National Championship Tournament. We'll have games on Saturday. We'll have a live version of Extreme Talk on Sunday. And then on Monday we'll have the consolation games, the championship games. So 3 weekends of 8-man football. It's a great time of year. And then we're only just over a month away, about a month and a half away from the 2023 Gatlinburg Rising Stars and All-American game from Rocky Top Sports World. So always excited to go down there and cover young men from all over the place. Deep kick on the left-hand side. Let's see if it goes out of bounds, and it will, right in front of the pylon. That's a backbreaker. Venter does a great job, though, of letting it play out.
Yeah.
And not jumping on it too quickly. So Cowboys will start with great field position at the 40, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it should be,
I
want to say 35.
Maybe yep, it looks like it is. Well, it looks like it is the 35. 5:23 to go here in the second quarter. Freedom Cowboys lead Tri-Cities Christian 22-12.
And
Like I said, we'll get you some scoring updates as we can. I know last week of play for the AISA, ACEL championship game tomorrow night down in Louisiana. And then SIFA regular season, last week of the regular season is this week, I believe. So we'll try to get you some scoring updates as they're updated in Max Preps. And we're going to have a flag coming from
imagine it's going to be some
back
sort
judge.
Got to be an illegal procedure, some type
Delay of game called on the Cowboys. So to make it a 1st and 15 for Freedom. Venter in a pistol formation. Give, I believe this is Briars up the middle. No, that's number 8. That's going to be Bram Day with the carry. And I'll bring up a second down. He might have gotten back to the line of their scrimmage. So it'll be 2nd and 15.
Yeah, and I'm sure Coach Collins isn't planning to hold on to the ball for the next 5 minutes, wanting to score before that. But this is a place where they can really try to put this game away because they deferred to begin the game. They're going to get the ball to start the second half. It's a 2-possession game right here, and if Freedom can score, not leave enough time on the clock for Tri-Cities to do anything, go down and score again.
Here's the give on the left-hand side. This is Briars. Briars making men miss on the left-hand side. Nope, that's Bram Day again. And a big gain up to the 30-yard line for Freedom. And it's first down.
But as I just said, I'm sure they're not planning to take 5 minutes to score either.
Well, and if Freedom scores here, let's say we go to halftime with that score, gets a 2-point conversion, so we go to halftime with a 30-12 score. I'll talk about it in a second. Here's the give. Day again, 3rd straight carry, makes the first couple men miss. Getting into the secondary, he's across the 20-yard line, just shy of the 15. Another big carry for Bram Day, the senior, and another Freedom first down.
And this is where they're going to that bread and butter. Like I said, Freedom, they love running the ball. They came out early, tried to establish that pass, especially with those short, not really screen passes, but swing passes to the outside. And that's going to be a fault.
A lot of movement
Looks like
across the board.
There was definitely some movement on Freedom's side. The question is, was that caused by an encroachment on Tri-Cities or not? Definitely saw some Freedom guys move before the snap. That's what they're talking right here. Did Tri-Cities influence Freedom to jump?
Nope, they're going to give false start against Freedom. So to move them back 5. So a delay of game and false start penalty on Freedom.
And that's one of those things that just kills the coach. You know, Coach Collins, with the false starts, the delay of games, you know that he expects that to be cleaned up. And I'm sure they're going to be having to talk about that after the game.
Shotgun formation. Venter takes the snap. Play fake to Briars on the left-hand side. Venter looking for the edge, and he'll get slung out of bounds at the 10. Brady Boskin. Brady Boskin on the tackle. I'll bring up a Freedom second down.
Second and about 2.
They're going to go again, and again the same play to Venters, and he's going to get out the right side. Can he get there? Not quite. They're going to mark him out at the 1.
Unable to get that corner shot for y'all with the post. Apologize about that.
Venters looking a little shaken up. Should be fine to stay back in the game. Took him a second to get up. Took a big hit. Telling Coach Collins he's good, though.
So Freedom able to score here, get the 2-point, 30-12 going into the half potentially. Those are very different halftime conversations for both teams. 30-12 as opposed to 22-12 or even 22-20 or 18.
Yep.
Very different conversations. Venter in the shotgun, flanked on his right by Briers. Play fake to Briers. Venter's in.
Yep.
Touchdown, Freedom. Cowboys able to punch it in with a drive starting at their 35-yard line, overcoming a couple penalties and giving themselves another 6.
Yeah, and that was the same play, just to the opposite side. This kind of wrap, so it doesn't really look like he's reading anybody. He's faking a handoff. He's taking it. Got a lead blocker out there. And Venters, again, players not plays, and they are utilizing him very well.
If Tri-Cities can hold them off on this 2-point conversion attempt.
Yeah, and again, they're going with a different quarterback for the 2-point. Different guy than last time, though, it looks like. Nope,
Pass is
same.
incomplete.
So number 18.
So the incomplete pass, that's going to be, number 18 is going to be Zane Gray,
Okay.
another senior. The incomplete pass keeps it a 2-score game here in the 2023 SEEC playoffs. It's Freedom Cowboys 28, Tri-Cities Christian 12. Welcome back to McGuckin Park. Freedom Cowboys, Tri-Cities Christian here in the 2023 SEEC playoffs. Kickoff is deep, and this will be fielded by Dixon at around the 1. Dixon on the left-hand side looking for the edge and forced out of bounds. Great hit there about the 25-yard line. And so that's where Tri-Cities will start a drive to try, and they can make this a 1-score game going into halftime.
Yeah, and I really like the point that you brought up as looks like we got somebody cramping for Freedom off camera. Can't see who that is. Jackson Hamill, number 53, former Riverside Christian Academy player.
Shout out.
But, yeah, what you were saying about it still being a 2-possession game, again, not really kicking field goals, you would think, even though they do have a field goal kicker. Even though Freedom scored a touchdown, it started as a 2-possession game before the drive. It ends as a 2-possession game after the drive. So not the worst for Tri-Cities.
Here's Reed in the shotgun. Birchfield started left, moved to his right. 2 receivers out wide right. Reed fires across the middle, intended for Dixon and incomplete. Little miscommunication. Looked like Dixon was looking for the throw to his right. Ball drops to the left, and that'll bring up second down. You'll see right there, watch Dixon looking at the slot.
Yeah, they're gonna.
No, he was intending it. He was looking for it on the left, maybe a little underthrown.
They're sending that blitz there, and there's really 3 ways. If you're Freedom, if you're the defense coordinator, there's 3 ways to defend that. You either add a safety. You know, a lot of times we don't play safety. We play 0-man coverage and 8-man. You add a safety to help. You blitz, or you just keep doing what you're doing, and they're looking to send that pressure.
2nd and 10, Reed in the shotgun. Tries to draw offside. They audible to their second play. Coach Jeremy Boskin in his second year at Tri-Cities Christian. former coach down in the Chattanooga area. Pass incomplete, intended for Dixon, almost intercepted there. Looks like number 2, Eli Carr.
And I got to say, that was really good coverage by Freedom because they're running play they just ran, that doubles formation to the right. They're both running streaks. They've been running streaks the whole game, and then they both stop and run a curl. And, you know, you think Freedom, they're trying to get that easy completion at Tri-Cities. Freedom does a great job defending that.
2:34 to go in the second quarter. Time ticking down for Tri-Cities. Reed in the shotgun, 2 receivers right. He's flanked on his right by Birchfield. Reed takes the snap, fires right again, looking for Koklo again, and passes incomplete.
No flags. 4th and 10.
And this
Him and Dixon out wide right, and Reed just trying to get rid of the ball at this point.
Yeah.
Great throws, just not able to get that connection with his man.
Yeah, and same play as that first one, and they're starting to do max protect. So you're only sending 2 guys out in the route. They're blocking with 5, trying to go on those blitzes. And, again, this is where it's going to get interesting. You know, I think a normal commentator would say this is why they get paid to be a coach. I guess I'm a coach, so I have to say my opinion with this. But 4th and 10, 2 minutes left, 2-possession game. You know, it looks like they're going to punt. I probably would be doing the same thing, honestly, in this position.
Well, and they did have a punt earlier that was muffed by Briars, and they were able to recover.
So I tend to be on the more aggressive side of coaching, but I would say I think this is a good move by Coach Boskin.
Great kick by Dixon. It'll bounce around the 50 and come to rest around the 40, where it'll be downed by the Tri-Cities coverage team. Well, at halftime, we'll go ahead and get you some scoring updates as much as we can from Max Preps. Want to give a big thank you to everyone all season who's been updating Max Preps, the quick scoring coach. You guys do it there at Riverside.
Yep.
It's not hard. All you got to do is
not.
get a parent, get someone up in the box, or in the booth. If you got someone filming your game, just get them to, do a couple updates.
Yeah, actually, my parents live local here. My dad does it for us.
There you go.
He comes to all our games.
See, that's what I'm saying. Just get somebody who, look, oh, they scored.
Yep.
Add a touch. It's that simple. Add a touchdown. Now, if you want to get in depth, it gets real in depth.
It does.
So you can break it down, but you don't have to.
We started with the live score in our second game of the year.
Here's the give up the middle. This is Bram Day. Jalen Venter with the carry.
So we started with that live score in the second game of the year, and I told him, I was like, he's a pretty tech-savvy guy. This looks like he's down. To see if that looks more like a cramp or an injury.
And clock stopped right at 2 minutes.
And that's looks like a cramp. I can't quite see.
And as they attend to him, we're going to step aside here in the 2023 SEEC semifinal playoff game. Venter able to make it back to the sidelines for a play. Here's the carry. Bram Day breaking free up the middle. Now he cuts left, and he'll be brought down at the 20 by that Tri-Cities defense. But not before Cowboys have a first down.
Yeah, one of the things I really want to point out on this run as we look at the replay, he does a great job following his blocker. So he's going to run right here. He's going to see this lead blocker right in front of him. He's going to bounce off of him, and eventually he gets caught from behind. As a short gain here as we go back live. About a 2 or 3 yard gain by Day.
Quick drive here by Freedom. Quick run there by Bram Day. And missed the play there during the replay.
And so it looks like we're going with number 1 at quarterback while Venter's out.
That's going to be Logan Briars. He's played some quarterback this year for the Cowboys.
Yeah, and Venter's
he's kind of been a jack of all trades for them so far.
Yeah, and Venter's off camera here. It's definitely just a cramp. So good news, no serious injury. It's hot here and it's humid. Another penalty on Freedom. Venter's
They're going to have they're having to sub Bramday out.
Yeah, not a. So
They'll bring in number 27, Sterling Hershey.
Yeah, so not a penalty. That's probably either going to be lost a helmet, I'm assuming, in the bottom of the pile.
I've seen
We're saying don't have a mouthpiece.
Briars, keeper on the right-hand side, looking for the edge, has the first down, and they'll mark him out of bounds.
So Venters off camera, yeah, clearly a cramp. They're getting him some water. He's stretching back out. Looks like he's going to come on this play. But yeah, it's a hot, humid day here.
Freedom would love to punch the ball in right here, go up by
sure.
3 scores.
Of course, got 30 seconds left. We're in a little bit of a heat wave this week. I don't know how it's. Assuming it's been similar up North Nashville.
But it's been warm.
Obviously, I live about 30 minutes north of here, and school is about an hour north of here. But we're in a heat wave this week. It feels like August again.
Freedom breaks the huddle. 1 man out wide left. Venter in the shotgun. Looks like he's by himself. Takes the snap. Play fake. Keeper by Venter on the left-hand side. He's in. Touchdown. Freedom Cowboys.
Big play. And, a lot of these plays with Venters that we see look like just straight keepers. Have the motion where it could be a read. That's more of kind of a power inverted veer type read. We saw the read option kind of wrap read earlier. And they're going to take him off again. Go ahead and put Briar back in. It looks like at they're going to go back with Gray at quarterback. It seems to be their 2-point conversion quarterback right here. They're just trying to see if this is a throw to the left, because I think that's what they've done the last 2 times.
There you go.
Yeah, just that same kind of play.
Wide open.
He's out.
Briars had the catch, and they're going to say Briars.
Yeah, they're going to say missed it with this pole, but they're going to say that he caught it out of bounds.
And the official was right there to make the call. You can't. Great positioning, and you got the pole there, but great positioning by the official to make that call. Briars did not get both feet in, so 2-point conversion attempt is no good. 26 seconds to go here in the first half, and like I said, halftime will get you some Max Preps quick scoring updates and get you up to speed on everything going on in 8-man football. AISA last week of play, regular season play, as well as the SIFA. ACSC and CFA playoffs happening tonight. And ACEL championship down in Louisiana, that's tomorrow night. Not sure if it's being broadcasted. What is being broadcasted, though, is Game 2 of the SEEC 2023 SEEC playoffs at 12 noon right here on 8-Man Extreme. Tennessee Heat hosting Sacred Heart of Jesus High School. First time for Sacred Heart in the playoffs. First time for Tri-Cities in the playoffs, and got to love that these teams, of course, Freedom, Heat, second year in a row, #1 seeds in their division, hosting the playoff game. But, new teams in the playoffs. You got to love it.
Yeah.
Barrelin set to kick off. Dixon back deep to return.
And you got to think, I know they're not wanting to think about this yet, but looking to next year, Tri-Cities, you got to think they're going to be back in the same spot. 11 juniors going to turn into 11 seniors, you would believe. 8th grade quarterback.
Kickoff here from Barrelin into the end zone. Dixon won't have a chance to return. We might have a home playoff game from Bluntville.
Yeah.
Tri-Cities might end up hosting number 2
I don't know if I can go up to
seed.
that one.
That's a little bit of a haul. Of course, we did Tri-Cities first game back in 8-man. Tennessee Heat on the road up on the actual campus of Tri-Cities Christian. And so far they've been playing games at the local middle school level. First and 10, Tri-Cities, and we'll get a timeout called here. I believe Tri-Cities took that timeout. That'll be their last of the half to regroup and try to get set.
That's one of those things as well that's hard because, you see the college and NFL game, and I love harping on that, and I know it's kind of my tangent, but just the differences. You see NFL, Titans, Ron Tannehill comes off the sideline. He's with the iPad. He's talking to the coordinator. He's got the phone up in the booth. They don't have that here. A lot of these guys.
This is pure football.
Yeah, you know, and a lot of these guys, obviously, Freedom and Tri-City's a little bit bigger than us. We had about 15 kids. I think we had about 15 to start. I think we dressed out 13 last week in our last game up at Classical.
Right.
But we have a lot of our guys playing both ways.
Yeah.
You know, our quarterback was our quarterback was also our starting cornerback. The only time he didn't see the field was I didn't have him do kickoff team, so I could pull him one time, and that's the only time I was as the offense coordinator. That's the only time me and the quarterback.
Give him a chance to breathe.
Yeah, we could only talk during kickoff, during punt, and during halftime was the only time we could talk. And so,
26 seconds to go here in the first half. Tri-Cities ball at the 20-yard line.
And the point of that
First and 10.
It's easier to get these substitution errors like this when you think, oh, they haven't been on offense in a couple minutes. Shouldn't they know what they're doing? Well, a lot of those guys have been playing defense. They just got off the field. They don't know what.
Reed give to Birchfield. Hull makes the initial man miss, second man with the tackle.
We'll see if they go quick.
And I think they might get one more play in here.
Yeah, they're going to try to go quick. Interesting call there. Obviously,
you wonder if they take a shot here maybe.
Yeah, because Birchfield has been their best player.
Yep, there you go on the left-hand side, looking for Dixon.
Looks like it's.
And passes intercepted
in the half.
And they're going to say that he got it, but it does nothing. It's like a punt, another punt. Second interception of the half thrown by Tri-Cities, and that'll do it for the first half. Your score, Freedom Cowboys 34, Tri-Cities Christian 12. We'll step aside. See, halftime will be 20 minutes, or 15 minutes, so we'll step aside for about 10 minutes. We'll come back. We'll get you updated on scores from across eight-man football. We'll get ready for the second half of the 2023 SEEC semifinal playoffs right here on 8-Man Extreme. All right, and welcome back to the 2023 SEEC playoffs, the semifinal round. Want to give you some scoring updates. About 3 minutes left until start of the second half. 8:30 to go in the third quarter. Russell Christian leads Cornerstone Christian 36-14. Let's go over to the TSI AA and Grace Academy taking on Christian Community. In the third quarter, Golden Eagles lead the Colts 12-8. Let's go to the AISA. Final score, game played earlier this evening. Southern Prep 58, Evangel Christian Montgomery 20. Big win for the Fighting Rangers there in the AISA. And then Cornerstone Christian last night, 11-man game taking on Bessemer Academy. And they lost 45-22, but Cornerstone Christian Columbiana staying unbeaten in 8-man football. Talked about the CFA a little bit. Don't have a score for Jacksonville Christian, Tuscaloosa Christian. In the ACSC, Evangel Christian leads East Central 39-0 in the third quarter. And then in the third quarter has now started. At halftime, Ezekiel was up 26-22 in the third quarter. Warriors have put a touchdown on the board, and they now lead 30-26. No scoring updates for the SIFA. Let's see. Over in North Carolina, Howard Academy 46-8 win over Berean Baptist. Wayne Christian 82-0 win over Liberty Christian. Let's see real quick. Let's see if we have any in the Kansas Christian. No update from KC East and Cornerstone Family Saints. Heartland, no update in the playoff games there. Let's see if there's any others that we missed. Let's go to Skisa. No updates from Skisa. Let's go to Gaps. Final score, Holy Ground Baptist 42, Praise Academy 8. Let's go to the GISA. Holy Spirit Prep in the fourth quarter. They lead Dominion Christian 34-0. In the fourth quarter, Johnson Ferry Christian 23, Westminster Christian 13. So a close one down there in the Peach State. And then let's hop over to Virginia real quick. Last night, Kinston Forest 34-15 win over Fuqua. And then last update, let's go to the Northern 8 Conference playoffs happening this weekend. Actually, tomorrow. And no scoring updates there. So we'll try to keep you updated on the CFA playoffs. The winners of the two games tonight, they will go to the CFA championship game, which will be broadcasted right here on 8-Man Extreme. We'll have that game next Friday night. Next Saturday afternoon, we'll have the 2023 SEEC championship game. Freedom Cowboys leading the game here, so potentially they will face the winner of Tennessee Heat Sacred Heart, who will be playing tomorrow at 12 noon, and we'll have that broadcast right here on 8-Man Extreme. So a lot of football, and then in 2 weeks from tomorrow, we have the 2023 NHSA Championship Tournament. So we'll have teams going down to PCB, Florida for a chance at a national championship. Evangel Christian, 5-time defending champs. Here in Huntsville, though, we're getting set for the second half. That's where I'll bring in my broadcast partner, the head coach of Riverside Christian Academy, Coach Adam Chalmers. And, Coach, as we get ready for the second half, I think it's a little too obvious to say, but Tri-Cities, they got a couple things to figure out. They haven't had a bad first half, but Freedom's experienced, and the guys that have stepped up since losing some senior leadership last year, that's definitely been the difference tonight.
Yeah, and really, as we were talking about earlier in the first half, it's going to come down to that not quite red zone, but the 30s, inside the 30s. And if you watch this game from one 30 to the other 30, it's been basically the same. They both moved the ball between the 30s. The difference really has been Freedom's been able to bend but not break on defense, and Tri-Cities, aside from a turnover and a muffed punt, hasn't been able to get a stop.
Kickoff here for Dixon, mishandled on the return. And
about the 30-yard line. First down, Cowboys.
I got to be honest,
we'll get a number real quick. Go ahead, Coach.
I was surprised, down 22 in a playoff game, win or go home, that there wasn't maybe an attempt there of some sort of onside kick or pooch kick or something. Again, like we're talking about, not really have to deal with kickers. In my opinion as a coach, getting the ball, giving them the ball at the 25 or giving them the ball at the 45 isn't really going to make that big of a difference, in my opinion. So a little bit surprised with that, but like you said, working some adjustments in the half, got the 18-minute half, 15 plus 3. Hopefully, for Tri-City's sake, they're going to be able to make some adjustments here.
Here's the give today on the right-hand side. Stops, reverses field.
Good tackle.
Nothing doing, though, and he might have been brought back down at the line of scrimmage, which will bring up a second down. Let's see where they mark. Nope, they're going to say he lost yardage. Loss of 3 on the play. It'll bring up a 2nd and 13.
And it goes without saying, but that run game, that run defense for Tri-Cities is really going to start up front. And a good job there when you have Venters, who's been killing them the entire first half in that quarterback keep game, that they don't bite down on him super hard. They play Day, who also broke off some big runs, and they're able to get that good tackle for loss.
Venter in the shotgun. Good to see him back in the game after some cramping issues in the first half. Keeper around the right-hand side looking for the edge. Has it down the sideline. He's gone, but there is a flag back at the first down marker, and I presume this is coming back. Let's take a look at this replay, Coach.
And Freedom, how does that work? How is
maybe
that
a block maybe a block in the back. Let's see. Let's get through this replay, and we'll show it one more time. If you look at about where the first down marker is, let's see if we can hit it one more time. There we go. Right about. Nope, not a block in the back. A trip. I didn't see what the penalty was potentially.
Whatever it is, it's obviously come back, and those are one of the hardest things. It seems, especially talking about. These are high school kids. These aren't professionals. These aren't collegiate athletes. Those long runs, it gets real messy.
Holding called on the Cowboys.
And it seems like, with most teams about half the time, if you break off something that's more than 40 or 50 yards, it's probably going to get called back. Somebody's going to do something.
With the exception of like Birchfield in the first half, first quarter, with a huge run for Tri-Cities putting their first touchdown on the board.
But Freedom, the big thing and why it's successful, obviously Venter and Day, is running backs. Great. But the exterior blocking on that outside, they're really doing a good job sealing that edge.
Venter with the keeper on the left-hand side, making men miss. Still making men miss, looking for the edge. Has 2 men to beat, outruns the first. The second is able to shove him out of bounds. And that's number 10, Josiah Dixon, I believe, with the stop. So Cowboys flip the field on 2nd and long, able to get down around the 20-yard line. A great run there by Venter. Venter hyping the crowd up.
Yeah, and Coach Collins doing a good job managing him.
Well, at this point, you're going to start managing your guys, getting ready potentially for the championship game next week.
Yeah, because you got to think, we've seen the runs. He obviously just ran 80 yards. Got called back, ran 50 more. They're running a lot. In pads, it's worse. Obviously getting hit, it's worse.
Here's the carry by Day. He'll pick up a few, bringing up 2nd down here for the Cowboys.
And think about those external factors. Again, these are kids. We've been in a heat wave this week in Huntsville. It feels like it's 20 degrees hotter than it was last week. Of course, next week.
Starting to cool off just a little bit.
Drop it down, but yeah, it is. It's humid here. And so Venters,
it's a fun time of year. It's starting to get a little cooler.
So Venters was obviously, he was cramping in the second. Probably still not totally there hydration-wise.
Bryers with a give today on the right-hand side, and he's in. Touchdown, Freedom Cowboys. Bram Day, the senior, punches the ball in. Freedom now up by 28. 28.
And that's why I said it honestly does surprise me a little bit that Coach Boskin didn't maybe come out and try to get some sort of pooch kick or onside. Obviously he has a great team. Not trying to question him in that regard. But Freedom's shown you they can 40-yard field, 60-yard field. One time there were about 85 yards they scored. It has not been – they've not been able to stop them.
What a great job for Freedom to answer back tonight against the Tri-Cities team. Only 2 losses on the season, 1 to the Tennessee Heat, 1 to the Panthers. Here is Gray at quarterback, fires to the left, and they're going to say he got it.
Yep.
Pass complete. And that's number 2. Eli Carr with the successful 2-point conversion attempt. But, you know, for Freedom, great job answering back. For them, they've lost 3 of their last 4 losses to Lighthouse Warriors, Franklin Christian, and then they got the win over Sacred Heart to clinch the number 1 seed. Played up in Tennessee, up in Mount Juliet last week at the Tennessee Heat, the annual Independence Bowl. And so lost there, had to leave the trophy there in Mount Juliet. And great job on them for answering back against a game Tri-Cities team. This team is continuing to grow. Last year only 1 win, I think. Let's double check that. But a Tri-Cities team that's continuing to get better, continuing to grow. Quick update, 2:01 left in the third quarter, and Russell Christian has now gone up 42-14. It's looking like they will play in their 6th consecutive CFA championship game, 5-time defending champs. And Jacksonville Christian Academy, number 1 seed in the conference, unbeaten overall and in conference play. So if they beat Tuscaloosa Christian, it'll be a rematch of last year's game. A little bit different teams, though. Russell does not have all the seniors they had last year, but Jacksonville still has breakout star quarterback, sophomore Noah Lee. I believe he's a sophomore, and so situation may be a little different there. That game happening just down the road in Rainsville. Here in Huntsville, though, Freedom now up by 30. Kickoff. Dixon will be able to return it. It bounces at the 10. He'll pick it up, start right. First man is going to force him out of bounds just past the 10-yard line. It'll be a 1st and 10 for Tri-Cities Christian.
Yeah, and to go back to your point about Tri-Cities, you know, I'm very impressed with Coach Boskin and his guys. This is not going to be the last that we see of them. You know, obviously they're going to lose some key pieces, but they got 11 juniors. They got an 8th grader at quarterback. Especially, like you said, the turnaround from last year, the job he's been able to do, very impressive.
Last year for Tri-Cities Christian, only 1 win against Lighthouse Christian out of Antioch, Tennessee, a 1-5 season for them. So 1-5 to 7-3 after tonight. What a turnaround for Coach Boskin.
A great season, and that's what you dream for, and that's what you work for. You know, as we said, a 1-3 season, mainly led by some juniors that'll be back with an 8th grader at quarterback. You know, and that's one of those things that it's just that extra icing on the cake. Obviously, if you just look, there's a delay of game on Tri-Cities. 1-6 or 1-5 to 7-3. You'll take that as a coach, no matter who's playing on your team.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's not you have 15 seniors that are all going to leave after this year, that you have guys coming back. It just looks even brighter for next year for them, and they're going to be a tough opponent.
Reed fires left. Pass is incomplete. Intended for Dixon, and barreling there to make the stop. Had the interception on the first scrimmage play of the game and got the Cowboys started on their scoring drive, on their first drive of the game. So, young man not only kicking away, handling special teams, but handling his duties on defense as well. Reed in the shotgun, flanked on the left by Birchfield. Give is to Birchfield up the middle, making the first set of men miss. Finally tripped up just shy of the 20, and that's just a shoestring tackle there. Able to bring Birchfield down. Other than that, he would have been gone. And guys like that, Coach, when they get going, it's tough to bring them down. You have to trip them up.
Yeah, those guys are just so tough to tackle. And we talk about a team, obviously, that you'll be covering tomorrow's Sacred Heart, and we played them in our homecoming game at Riverside this year. And they don't have a lot of guys, but the guys they have are huge, and they're tough to tackle as well. It'll be interesting to see.
Birchfield here brought down for a loss of yardage. Great defensive penetration there by the Cowboys line. Able to stop them behind the line of scrimmage, bringing up a 4th down.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the Heat handle that tomorrow because, Sacred Heart, one of those teams again with Coach Blankenship, didn't have a lot of guys numbers-wise. They're not a freedom that's going to bring out 40 guys. They had, I think when we played them, we dressed out 13 and they dressed out 11.
Yeah.
Not a lot of guys, but the guys they have are good.
You had fewer guys on the combined roster than are allowed in conference games and SEEC play. Only 30 players allowed to dress.
Yes.
And 24 between the two of you.
And so it'll be interesting to see because they do have some big players there.
Dixon set to punt it away. Gets a great kick going. It'll bounce at the 45 and take a massive Tri-Cities bounce down to around the 40-yard line. And that's where the Freedom Cowboys will start their second offensive drive of the second half. Let's get you some scoring updates. Let's go to the ACSC. Third quarter, Evangel Christian leads East Central 46-0. And in the third quarter, we have got a barn burner right down the road in Pinson. Either Pinson or Aniana. I think it's Pinson. Lighthouse Warriors 38, Ezekiel 32. And the winner of that one will face Evangel Christian, barring a miraculous comeback by East Central, who's down 46-0. So the winner of Ezekiel Lighthouse will face Evangel Christian for the ACSC championship. That Lighthouse Evangel game, great game earlier in the season. It was 14-12 Lighthouse at the half. Evangel in the second half able to kind of put a little gas on and get going, but big game there. Ball is fumbled, and I believe Freedom was able to recover it.
Yeah, and Evangel just
Venter able to grab it.
As a team, think about obviously we're in championship week. All the teams we're covering, we're talking about are good right now, having good seasons, and Evangel obviously the top of the mountain. We didn't get a chance to play them this year, but we did play FCA. They were obviously number 1 team in Tennessee, and played a really close game with Evangel. But just to see that level of team and those guys, really good coaching.
I was able to catch that one with the Evangel broadcast crew, and what a fun game that one was. 30-27. That was a lot of fun. Two very good teams, and of course, Venter here, play fake, fires across the middle, incomplete.
They faked me out there.
Little miscommunication there. And you got to think, Evangel being the 5-time defending national champions, you got to think they'll be back to defend their title. Freedom, of course, faced them the last 2 years. And then you had Ezekiel faced Ezekiel faced him in 2020. Yeah, Ezekiel faced him in 2020. Harding faced them in 2019, and then Christian Community in 2018. Here is Venter with the keeper up the middle. Tough yardage is what he's trying to pick up on second or third and 20.
Yeah, and that was the same look as last time. It was just that fake pitch, looking for the pass, now a fake pitch and a quarterback keeper, and there's really timeout by Freedom.
It was 3rd and 20, unable to pick up the first down, so they will call a timeout. You gotta wonder maybe a little trickeration up the sleeve.
Yeah, and there's really two, I would say, in my opinion, 2 ways that Coach Collins can go about this. Obviously, it's a playoff game. You're not really wanting to let off the gas as much or put in young guys as quickly because obviously you want to make sure you got this in the bag. But looking ahead to, obviously, the SEEC championship next week, and we're going to assume, although you would know more about this than I would, I'm assuming they're going to get the invite to Panama City.
The champion last year, of course, Freedom, they had the invite. Tennessee Heat went down as well after a great season. So,
thinking they're going to play at least one more, assuming they finish this one off tonight, they'll play in SEEC championship, and then potentially 2 more games the next one. You can either – if you're Coach Collins, you're up by a lot, either take some chances, kind of see how can Venter work on that passing game, open up the playbook a little bit. But the downside of that, too, would be that the winner of the game tomorrow, they're going to be watching this film.
Freedom
teams in Panama City, they'll be watching the film.
Absolutely. Freedom set to punt it away, and they will. Not a long kick. It'll bounce at the 30. Dixon was going to try to field it. He'll let it go and let Freedom pounce on it. Now, of course, first-time matchup here in Huntsville between Tri-Cities Christian and Freedom Cowboys. Tennessee Heat and Zion Christian Sacred Heart, they played earlier this season down in Jackson, with the Tennessee Heat getting a 54-26 win. So there is they have played this season. A little bit of precedent for the Heat picking up the win. 6:39 to go here now in the third quarter. James Shannon, Adam Chalmers on the call for the 2023 SEEC semifinal round of the playoffs.
And, you know, that conversation about offense, looking at the other side of the call, obviously, Coach Boskin, you're wanting to win this game. You're not giving up.
Reed fires deep, looking for Dixon, and he's got him. Makes his man miss. Koklo there to run some interference. Dixon all the way into the end zone. Touchdown, Tri-Cities. No flags. And Eagles tack another touchdown on the board.
Yeah, and a great play there. And, again, we talked about it in the first half. The biggest part of getting that to work is getting him the ball. He's got to just give him a chance. He gave him a chance. Was it, you know, the ideal? Is that what you're wanting as a coach for him to do on a fade? Not really, but he gets it to where it's catchable. Great presence of mind by the receiver to come back for it, and he makes the play.
2-point conversion attempt here for Tri-Cities. This is going to be Reed in the shotgun, two receivers right. Motions Birchfield left. Reed fires across the middle and passes incomplete. 2-point conversion attempt is no good. 6:21 to go here in the third quarter. Tri-Cities attacking another touchdown on the board, and we'll step aside. This is the 2023 SEEC playoffs, the semifinal round, right here on A-Man Extreme. Welcome back to McGuckin Park. Tennessee Heat, Freedom Cowboys and Tri-Cities Christian. Little onside attempt, little squib kick. Freedom able to grab it at the, get it up to the 45-yard line. That's where they'll take over, up 42-18.
Yeah, and onside kicks, it seems, depending on how you do it, it can be really successful in 8-man, or it's a lot harder depending on how much you coach it, because on one hand, obviously more free space, but on the other, 8-man rules, you can't have more than 4 guys on one side of the ball.
Ezekiel has now tacked a touchdown on the board for themselves in the third quarter. They lead 40-38. What an upset that would be. Ezekiel with losses to Lighthouse and Evangel this year. Lighthouse with a loss to Evangel. So two very even teams. Here's Venter with the play fake, looking for the edge on the keeper, and he will get dropped behind the line of scrimmage, so it'll register as a sack for Tri-Cities Christian.
And so that's the same exact play they ran on 3rd and 20 the last drive, just the other way, this fake end around. Looks like they have obviously the end around off of it. They can throw down the middle. They had an incomplete pass on that drive, and then the end around and quarterback run right there.
And that is Koklo on the tackle there, on the sack technically.
So again, obviously this is still a game. We got 18 minutes left, 3-score game. Not over by any means, but it'll be interesting to see if coach gets more conservative or more aggressive with his play calling.
Play fake, Venter. That's a little aggressive there. Around the left-hand side, he points to the end zone, takes off to the end zone, and he's in. Touchdown, Cowboys. A 4-score game now. And you just said something about aggressive play calling.
Yeah, and, that's one of those things, again, when I'm talking about aggressive play calling, more from the coach's perspective on that's just Venter's doing his thing. I mean, that's a little fake pitch, quarterback run, what they've been doing all game. It's fun. I've talked I haven't my 2 years, 1 year with varsity being able to coach. I haven't had many games where we've had a blowout, but in middle school this year we won a couple games by 30 points. And just having that where you have a player and it doesn't matter what play you call, he's going to execute it. It's fun, and it's a little boring, honestly.
Gray with the keeper on the 2-point. No good. It stays a 30-point game, 5:16 to go.
Meaning that, as a coach, it doesn't matter what I'm going to call right now. Doesn't matter if Coach Collins, if he would have called a fake pitch this way or a fake pitch that way or a fake end around. As long as he's getting the ball to number 9, he can call anything with number 9 running, and he knows it's going to be successful.
Oh, yeah. Well, for those of y'all who have missed him, you haven't heard him call games, he's back next Friday. Spencer Tomset returns to the booth for 8-Man Extreme. He'll handle play-by-play duties for the CFA championship game, the SEEC championship game, and then he'll be on board for the NHSA National Championship Tournament. And we'll have a little rotating lineup of color commentators to team up with Spence. So excited to see him come back. Hate the colors he's wearing, but excited to have him back, doing a great job down at that school in West Alabama, picking up the opportunity. So always great to have Spencer back. 5 years with 8-Man Extreme. Got a chance to call several games with him and work with him, and always had a blast, so it'll be good to have him back in the booth. Here at McGuckin Park in Huntsville, Alabama, Freedom Cowboys lead Tri-Cities Christian 48-18. 5:16 to go in the third quarter. Freedom set to kick away. Dixon is back deep to return. Berlin will kick it away for the Cowboys. Arm goes up, arm goes down. Kick is away, and it'll go over the head of Dixon for a touchback. And so they'll bring the ball to the 20-yard line for Tri-Cities. Let's see if we can get some scoring updates from the games happening across 8-man football, especially here in the South. In the third quarter, Ezekiel still leads Lighthouse 40-38. And let's see if we can get an update on Grace and Christian Community. Grace, it says in the third quarter, they still lead 12-8. Let's see if we can find an update on Franklin Christian and Lancaster Christian. Reed fires left. Pass is incomplete. In the fourth quarter, Franklin Christian leads Lancaster Christian 43-14. So it looks like the Falcons will return to their second straight TSIAA championship, their third in 4 years.
And
beating South Haven Christian back in 2020. Of course, 2021 was Ezell Harding and Lancaster. Last year, Franklin Christian winning over Providence Christian. Blank there for a second. Reed with a bomb on the left-hand side. And I believe that was Dixon trying to come back for it. Pass is incomplete. Bring up a third down.
Yeah, and I doubt with everything, I know with basketball and everything, that they'll be making a trip down to Panama, but I'd love to see them play Evangel one more time.
Oh, yeah. Great game between the two of them. And
great program there.
Franklin Christian currently ranked number 2 in the NHSA rankings, with wins over the Freedom Cowboys here. Of course, they beat Christian Community earlier in the season, who's ranked at number 4. Lost to Franklin Christian, or to Evangel Christian, rather.
You know, and I got to say, as a head coach who does 8-man and plays a lot of these teams, one of the things I love about this culture, and of course I didn't grow up here, is
Little stumble there for Reed, unable to get his footing.
But I haven't had a negative experience with any of these coaches.
Yeah,
but
no.
I will say, a couple of the best, Coach Johnson at FCA and Coach Collins here, they're great guys to talk to.
Oh, yeah.
And so, you know, they're very helpful. It's good to see their program succeeding. But yeah, I'd love to get to see them play again, and I'd like to see with how Freedom's doing tonight, you know, if they could get another crack at FCA. Obviously, it didn't really go Freedom's way. They played up in Franklin earlier this year. It didn't really go their way, but you can see this team's developing. We talked about they only returned 3 or 4 seniors. They got some guys, you know, for the rest of this year, but even next year that are going to look good.
Dixon set to punt it away here on 4th down. Great kick from him. Fielded by Briers at the 50. He'll return it around the left-hand side, and he'll be forced out of bounds. It's either Boskin or Birchfield. That's Boskin, Brady Boskin, with the stop, forcing him out of bounds. So Freedom will take over, let's see, around the 35-yard line, 1st and 10. 4:02 to go in the 3rd quarter. Get that updated. There you go. Want to give a big thank you and a big shout out to all 36 of you watching, whether you're from Tri-Cities area, Bluntful, Kingsport, Johnson City, maybe you're here in Huntsville cheering for your player of choice, or maybe you just want to watch some football. Thank you so much for tuning in here. Bram Day with the carry up the middle. Good hard run there up the middle of that Tri-Cities defense.
So you got
be a 2nd down.
His name escaped me, but you got number 1 back at quarterback.
Logan Briers back at quarterback. And you mentioned it earlier, Coach Collins doing a great job of managing Venter, which he is on the field right now. No, he's on the sideline. He's right here on the far right. So managing his workload a little bit. Getting ready for that championship game. Here's the give on the left-hand side. This is Briers Rather with the keeper, and he's around the left-hand side. Touchdown, Freedom Cowboys. Logan Briers punches it in again. Freedom on a roll now.
And just some good blocking right there, and doesn't even, if I can see this number 31 who lined up at tight end, doesn't even really hold him that long, but he delays it long enough to they get that quarterback keeper all the way, not a read because they're not leaving that end unblocked. But he's able to slow him up enough where he can get that edge, and not only does he do that, but he goes and gets a guy 2nd level. But it looks like we're having some sort of communication with the officials.
There is a penalty. There's a flag down around the 18-yard line. Coach Collins discussing something with the official. We'll wait to hear. I didn't see anything at the 18. Could be a sideline warning. Let's see.
I'm going to spot it, yeah, back at the 18.
So the touchdown taken off the board. We'll wait to see. Wait to see if we get a call here. So no call. No explanation here.
Saying for my guy up here, it looks like it's an illegal use of hands, and there's going to be a timeout by Tri-Cities.
Eagles will burn their first timeout of the half, and we will take a timeout as well. This is the 2023 SEEC Championship. I did it again. 2023 SEEC Playoffs semifinal round right here on A-Man Extreme. 1st and 10.
Yeah, we're
For-
still having.
For the Freedom Cowboys
Now it's going to run.
at the 18-yard line.
So they were ready. Officials hadn't run the clock yet.
Keeper by Briars on the right-hand side looking for the edge, and he has it, and he's in. Touchdown, Cowboys. Logan Briars had the touchdown earlier. Had it taken off the board for illegal use of hands.
What a block by number 50 right here. Gets 10 on the outside. It's going to be basically a kick-out play. So they're going to leave him unblocked. They're going to kick him out on the outside. And execution, a lot of times blocking, especially this level, doesn't have to be perfect. He didn't really engage with them, but got the impact, cleared the hole, and these Freedom athletes getting on the edge.
Number 50 is sophomore Elijah Brown. So great job by the young man. Gray back in at quarterback. Takes the snap, looking, has to roll right, fires right. Pass is caught. 2-point conversion attempt is good. Cowboys take a, see if I get my math right, 38-point lead. I got the math right on that one.
And I feel, you go ahead.
Final score from right down the road in Rainsville. Russell Christian 48, Cornerstone Christian 14. So Warriors will be back in the CFA championship game. Of course, they played each other first game of the year. Overtime win for Russell 62-54. So we thought maybe it would be a closer game, but Russell able to pull away, and they will play in their 6th consecutive CFA championship game. And we're waiting to get an update on Tuscaloosa Christian and Jacksonville Christian. 2:26 to go here in this one.
You know, one thing that has to be commended with this Freedom running game, and I feel like I have 2 big reasons to make this as a coach, and also I know we're not on the television ourselves, but as a former offensive lineman build.
Yeah.
You know, you got obviously
There's 2 big boys broadcasting this game in case you didn't know.
Venter's phenomenal. Day's doing great. Again, still learning these names. Number 1, great at quarterback as well.
Logan
Briars. But the blocking that they're getting is really good too, because they are sealing that edge. And with the guys you have, those guys we just mentioned that running at running back, if you can just get a hand on somebody on the edge, they're able to outrun them.
Kickoff by Berlin, and as the game goes on, that leg's starting to warm up. He has bombed it into the end zone again.
He's certainly got a lot of chances.
For a touchback, yes, he has.
And speaking as a coach as well, that's such a luxury to have, somebody that can just kick it out the end zone. Because a lot of times with your players, again, we don't have NFL where we got special teams guys, and we have guys at the college level that may play a little bit on both sides. And obviously Nick Saban at Alabama is famous for playing a lot of his starters on special teams. But a lot of times, speaking from our team at least, our starters played special teams, and it's kind of hard to easy to take that off mentally a little bit, and that's where bad things can happen. When you got a guy that can just kick it back, you don't have to worry about it. That's a great luxury.
Reed fires left, complete to Dixon. Dixon across the first down marker to move the chains. I'm assuming Coach Boskin requested the, well, we are in mercy rule territory. That's 38 points.
Yeah.
So Coach Boskin enacting the mercy rule, so running clock until it's not a 35-point game anymore. Or I believe they can also just request to just go ahead and play regular clock rules. Shotgun here for Reed, flanked by Birchfield on his left. Reed takes the snap, give to Birchfield around the left. Nope, keeper by Reed around the left. And he'll be forced out of bounds after about a 5-yard gain.
And obviously,
I mentioned Rainsville being about an hour east of here over towards Georgia. Down in Pinson. I believe it's down. Let's double check it. Okay,
yeah,
Pinson,
I think it's
an hour and a half south of here.
Yeah, south, a little bit south of Birmingham, I think.
In the 4th quarter, Lighthouse has retaken the lead 44-40 over Ezekiel Academy. So that game getting fun there in the ACSC. And again, we'll try to get some updates.
Yeah, we're going to have a personal foul on Freedom here. Going to extend it 15 more. Obviously, if you're Coach Boskin, you never plan to lose This game, even though they were the underdogs, that's a good run right there to the outside.
Another keeper by Reed, quarterback.
And I'm sure 7-3 or 7-3 their record this year, 1-5 last year. As a coach this year went 1-6 with varsity at Riverside. I didn't plan. You're not planning. You're planning to win every game.
Exactly.
You're putting that game plan in to win. So even at this point, not planning to lose. And I'm sure that's obviously this isn't the outcome that he wanted.
Reed fires deep right, looking for Dixon. Dixon incomplete, had his man beat but unable to reach up and grab it.
You never want to lose. You're never planning to lose. Doesn't matter how big the odds are. But Coach Boskin pointed that saying, obviously this isn't the result he wanted, but there's got to be a lot of optimism going into next year with this team. And it probably won't happen tonight, because that's a good catch right there, and he's
great catch on the right-hand side. Yeah, like you said, that's Koklo, and that will end the third quarter.
But I was just going to say, as we wrap up the quarter here, probably won't happen tonight, but at some point next week or in the coming months, he can sit down and really be proud of the job that his guys have done this year and look forward to next year as we enter into the fourth quarter.
Absolutely. That'll do it for the third quarter. We will step aside. When we come back, we'll have the fourth quarter for you of the 2023 SEEC playoffs, the semifinal round. Tri-Cities Christian and Freedom Cowboys right here on 8-Man Extreme. Set to go here in the fourth quarter, Tri-Cities Christian, Freedom Cowboys. Reed made the first wave of Cowboys miss, but unable to stop the second wave, and he'll get brought down.
And we've seen that
for a sack
several times from Tri-Cities, that doubles to the right. They're just going to both run a fade or a streak with max protection, 5 guys. But Freedom, their counter after those first couple deep balls, first one getting intercepted and then couple completions, has been just blitz him. And again, 8th grader, he's 13, 14 years old, shaking him a little bit. But I tell you, by the time this kid gets to be a senior,
this is great experience for him.
Yeah, by the time he becomes a senior, and before then, he has a chance to be a phenomenal quarterback for these guys.
Reed fires right, hook and ladder play. This is Dixon down the right sidelines. I believe it's Dixon.
Because, imagine putting yourself in the position.
That was Birchfield. I'm sorry, that was Birchfield on the hook and ladder. And I didn't hit replay. Let's see if we got any of the replay.
Looks like they're going to try to go fast here.
Missed the hook and ladder, but great execution on that trickeration play there. Reed give to Birchfield up the middle. He'll pick up a hard, maybe a yard or two to bring up second down.
Especially, and as you said, great experience, because especially if you're a viewer that's, a Freedom fan, think about what Freedom's done the past couple years, the program they have, and then imagine you're starting a 14-year-old at quarterback in a playoff game. And he's played good. Not talking about he hasn't played good for an 8th grader. He's played good, period.
Exactly.
And just thinking about what he's going to be able to do as he gets older.
Pass complete out to the right.
Koklo on the reception.
Koklo on the reception. Bring up a third down for Freedom, or rather Tri-Cities.
And this is where I feel as a coach, both for the outcome of the game, but also for obviously it being the last game for some of these seniors. You got to feed Burchett here. Got to get him one more touchdown in his high school career at least, especially in this short yardage situation. This is definitely Burchett time as they're going to motion him back into the pistol behind Reed.
Here's the give, and he's in. This is Birchfield, his second touchdown of the night.
And good for him.
And what a run.
He's a good player. Obviously, I don't know much about Tri-Cities. Hopefully, if he desires, maybe trying to get the chance to play somewhere small or walk on somewhere, because he's a good athlete. I can tell you, I don't know if he might quite have the speed to be a running back at the next level, but he'd make a really good linebacker, be a good tight end. A lot of these guys, doesn't matter where you play, they'll find you.
Well, and something that's really gotten a lot of really grown over the last couple of years. Here's the pass incomplete intended for White. Something that's really grown over the last couple of seasons is sprint football.
Yeah.
In the Midwest, and like Navy, Army, they have teams, and of course you can't be over 170 pounds on game day. And a lot of these 8-man players, considered undersized, but that's real. I mean, there's quite a few. Oakland City University, Midway University, Fontbonne University, all have 8-man players on their roster, and they're doing well so far.
Yeah, and it's really, again, as someone as a coach who's learning some of this stuff, it's not as much about the school you go to as going to camps, putting good film out there, marketing yourself. Obviously, you would know way better than I would, but I know there's been decent bit of guys from these schools to go to college.
Absolutely.
Obviously, one of the biggest ones, if Leighton Vander Esch for the Cowboys.
He coming out of Idaho.
In Idaho, and we got some guys. I know from Riverside we have a couple guys that have played.
A lot of NAIA and D3 and D2. Of course, I mentioned Deuce Bragg earlier in the broadcast. He's over at Sewanee University of the South.
Yeah, and I mean that's really good. That's really good football.
You've got Jalen Brown from Sacred Heart playing at Cumberland University. You have I can't remember his name, but he is from Providence Christian, and he is playing at Cumberland as well. Several guys all over the place, even if it's Clinton Chase playing at Shorter University. You've got Isaac, nope, hang on. I know Sam Oberhausen. Here's the kickoff by Dixon. There's two former FCA players at Berry College, and I'll remember.
And they got one at
there's a kick return up to the 45-yard line. Big kickoff for Freedom there.
They have one at A&M, don't they? Texas A&M.
Yeah, Blake Bunton. A preferred walk-on there at A&M. Let's see. Let's go to. Isaiah Kimbrough. Isaiah Kimbrough down there at Berry College with Sam Oberhausen. Mentioned Clinton Chase over at Shorter University out of Tabernacle.
It looks like we have officially second team in here for the Cowboys on offense, at least some of their players. Not everybody, I see. So a couple, at least starters or rotational guys in, but you're going to get some new guys in here. And you're going to have a stop. And that's going to be, looks like a timeout here. Yeah, you got some new faces in here. So some guys that have been getting some playing time. You can see by the numbers, some rotational pieces, but a couple new guys in. It looks like Coach Collins. Again,
another young man that has made it to the next level out of Springwood School. Caden Cook is at Birmingham.
You're fine. I've been trying to see what the difference is. I'm a history teacher, not a math teacher,
there
so I couldn't tell what but 32, up 32, he's going to put his guys in. Again, got the running clock here, about 8:42 left.
I mentioned in the third quarter, Grace Baptist or Grace Academy led Christian Community in the TSIAA playoffs. Final score, Christian Community 16, Grace 12. Tight nail-biter game up in White House, Tennessee. And so Christian Community will face Franklin Christian for the TSIAA championship. Here's the carry. This is number 30 For Freedom, that's going to be Caleb Gorling, the sophomore.
On the carry for about a 5-yard gain.
Yeah,
Second
Grace,
down.
both Grace and CCS, good teams. Obviously, being at Riverside, we have more of a historical, I guess, association. Being in the former MTAC, play a lot of those teams from middle school. Didn't get a chance to play either one of those guys for varsity, but I can say Grace was a fantastic middle school team, probably definitely the best middle school team we faced all year. CCS has a strong program. Still got to think FCA is going to be the favorite in that one against CCS next week, but anything can happen.
They did play earlier in the season, FCA, with a 46-8 win, I believe. Here's the keeper on the right-hand side. This is going to be Gray down the right sideline, makes a man miss, and he will get drug out of bounds at the 40-yard line. We'll shift the camera, try to get the post out of the way.
Attention, concessions will be closing in 5 minutes for the season.
But great run there by Gray.
Please get hot dog.
And so Franklin Christian Community will face in the TSIAA championship game. Second time that will be happening. 2015, last time they faced for the championship. And FCA came away with the win.
Yeah, and we're talking on the other side about Burchett. Get one more touchdown. Obviously, Freedom's going to be playing next week, but Gray, the quarterback here, senior, getting him a chance to try to get one more touchdown.
2-point conversion attempt, no good. Carry by Gorling. And so Freedom
Second down.
will
That's going to be
well, no, not second down, not a touchdown.
First and goal
I
right there.
apologize. Better take that touchdown off the board there.
Yeah, so still 56.
56-24. Now under 7 minutes to go in the ball game. Tri-City's trying to keep Freedom out of the end zone at least one more time. This is the 2023 SEEC playoffs, the semifinal round here at McGuckin Park. James Shannon, Adam Chalmers on the call. They have Zane Gray, the senior, in at quarterback right now.
Oh, mishandled snap.
Yep. Ball on the ground, recovered by Freedom, I believe. Yep, Gorling able to fall on the ball. I'll bring up a third down. Again, tomorrow, 12 noon, we'll be live again from Charlie Daniels Park in Mount Juliet, Tennessee. Tennessee Heat hosting Sacred Heart of Jesus High School in Game 2 of the 2023 SEEC playoffs, the semifinal round. The winner of that game will face the Freedom Cowboys for the championship. Barring an upset, it could be Heat Freedom for the second year in a row. Of course, Freedom got the win in the championship last year. They also beat them in the Independence Bowl. Now, it could be a sign. Heat did beat Freedom in the Independence Bowl last week. Kept the trophy there in Tennessee. There's a pass from Gray, and it is incomplete. That'll bring up a fourth down. But last year, Freedom beat Heat in the Independence Bowl right here in Huntsville, and then that was last season. And then Freedom winning the championship up there at Zion Christian, who did an awesome job hosting. They'll be hosting again. And so Freedom winning the inaugural SEEC championship, first championship in their program history. Heat and Freedom potentially, or we could have Sacred Heart and Freedom, but Tennessee Heat with a big win over Sacred Heart earlier this season. So if it is Heat and Freedom, rematch of last year, Tennessee Heat looking for both Tennessee Heat and Sacred Heart looking for their first championships in their program's history. Zane Gray with the keeper on the left-hand side, tries to come back inside, and he'll get brought down short of the goal line. It'll be a turnover on downs, and Tri-Cities will take over with just over 4 minutes to go. Sacred Heart did win. They did win the TSIAA championship back in 2016. A little controversy there. But on the field, they won the game. So, anyway, both of them looking for their first championship. Heat have never won a championship, period, in conference play, whether it was back when they were in the TSIAA or here in SEEC, obviously.
Yeah, so same thing we were talking about with
deep pass here. Dixon able to unable to hang on, trying to haul it in there.
say Coach
Tried to catch it against his leg there.
Yeah, what I was going to say was same thing we kind of saw on the offensive side. You got a combination of young guys with freedom and also it looks like some seniors as well. You have Gray. You have number 72, who I believe is a senior. I can't remember his name. And, you know, as we said, this is
number 72 for freedom.
Yeah, they'll be playing next week, obviously, but this is their last game at McGuckin. So coverage bust right there.
72 is going to be Sam Trotter.
Yep.
For Freedom Cowboys.
So that was a little busted coverage there. Obviously going to happen when you have some young guys in. But
yep, pass complete for the first down. And we're talking about players playing at the next level. Aiden Luchtefeld and Matthew Corley, both from the Tennessee Heat, playing up at Austin Peay State. Corley originally signing with Carson Newman University. There's the pass, complete. What a grab there.
Great catch.
By number 12, Caden Bugala, or Bugala. What a grab there, and you see there on the replay. One-handed, went up and snagged it.
Yeah, and obviously 2 minutes left, but you got a chance for Reed to work on his reads a little bit. Freedom's going to be playing a lot of that off coverage, just not trying to get beat deep. Probably not going to be blitzing as much, although
Reed fires across the middle for White. White hauls it in behind the defense, giving chase, and they will finally bring him down at the 25. Great to see the senior hauling in a pass. And obviously it is the second team defense for Freedom, but still, you love to see the senior be able to go out last game with Tri-Cities Christian, getting a big catch to move his team down the field. Birchfield's had a game. White has struggled a little bit in terms of receiving, but big catch for him there. Reed flushed out of the pocket, fires deep. This one intended for Dixon, and he's in. Touchdown, Tri-Cities.
And that
Reed, great job. Rolling to the right, finding Dixon.
No, great.
Able to haul it in.
That was the exact thing I was going to say. That was such an impressive play here. Sees the rush, and again, we've seen a couple times with Reed, very understandably, kind of throwing that ball up as soon as you see, obviously, the Freedom rush. But he's able to flush himself out to the right. Know he has a little bit of time. Know there's nobody coming off the edge. He's got a guy deep, and that's a great play.
Minute and 18 to go. They have stopped the clock with it is a 26-point game. If they get the extra, the 2-point conversion, 34-point game, so obviously mercy rule won't apply. If they don't, I assume the clock will run. We'll get a kickoff and maybe a kneel down. But here's the keeper from Reed. 2-point conversion is good.
Yeah, one of those things.
I'm sorry, that was number 8, Preston Holmes.
But we talked about Reed a lot tonight, and obviously, you're going to talk about the quarterback in a football broadcast, main guy. But Reed is an 8th grader. You see those intangibles: flushed out to the right, has the blitz, doesn't panic, knows he has a guy, and ball placement wasn't perfect, underthrew him, but with the experience and having that intangibles as he grows, going to be able to get more on that throw it perfectly, and that's when he's really going to be able to develop into somebody that can, potentially bring Tri-Cities a championship a couple years down the line.
This Freedom Cowboys crowd, for a long time, Cowboys were independent. Had to go to Florida to play for a championship, or the opportunity to play for a championship. The last 2 years, they have been rewarded. They will now go to 2 straight championship games with the SEEC. That was a big move for them to move into the conference. A national championship contender, automatically giving SEEC some solid competition along with the Tennessee Heat. And so this crowd has done a great job tonight all season. Great home team and home field advantage for the Cowboys, and got to think they'll make the trip up to Zion Christian, up to Columbia, about an hour north. Fielded there at the 20 and kneel down.
Yeah, and they're going to run the clock here.
They're going to close this out. 1 kneel down is what we should get from Freedom.
So obviously,
but Columbia about an hour up the road, up in Tennessee, and that's where we'll have the 2023 SEEC championship game. Tomorrow we'll find out who they'll face, Tennessee Heat or Sacred Heart, in the game 2 of the 2023 SEEC playoffs. We'll have that championship game next Saturday, 12 noon, right here on 8-Man Extreme. Spencer Tomset will be making the call, but he'll make his return the night before down in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. We'll have the 2023 CFA championship game, potentially between Russell Christian and Jacksonville Christian, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. For now, the Freedom Cowboys are going to the 2023 SEEC championship game with a win over Tri-Cities Christian, and a big round of applause to Tri-Cities Christian on a 7-3, great 7-3 season. I mean, their losses coming to PAC, Tennessee Heat, and Freedom Cowboys, all ranked in the top 10 of the NHSA.
Great team. Got to love what Coach Boston's doing. Clearly, he's doing something right. It's working up there. Excited to see what this team and these kids do moving forward.
Quick shout out to Nathan Ogletree, former kicker for Freedom. He is with North Alabama right now. They're actually playing Austin Peay tomorrow, so little SEEC alumni action there. For here at McGuckin Park, we're going to sign off for the 2023 SEEC playoffs, the semifinal round. Final score, Freedom Cowboys 56, Tri-Cities Christian 32. For Adam Chalmers, I'm James Shannon. Thank you so much for tuning in. We'll catch you tomorrow afternoon, 12 noon, Tennessee Heat, Sacred Heart of Jesus High School. See ya!